Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix, joining me is Rapid, and I'm probably pointing in the wrong direction, but it's all good because we're going to head into our ace match here between White Clan and Bull.
If they don't send Willian out of... they've... Man.
Another
okay, I'm
CVP,
disappointed.
Willian.
Show the players it's not going to be more of this only Ling straight to Hive Tech Zerg play, but yeah, we do have an ace match. It's our first game of round 3, and we're already going deep with it. And this is White Clan. You rewind back to round 1, they were winning it, and here they are struggling against Bull.
Yeah, now let's actually have a look at who both the teams are going to send. Now, if you've not watched the STPL before, I don't actually know who the ace match is until I get into the game. So this is a little bit of a surprise for me as well. But we're going to head back on over to yet another PvT. And as we look, it's going to be White Clan's ace player, their best player at the moment in their roster, minus obviously Best Shot the Mind, who due to other commitments choose not to play in this because obviously they're in ASL and everything. But Famas2, a very strong player, actually ranked twice overall, I believe. Let's actually just have a look at that. Yeah, so he's
ranked twice?
Ranked second.
Holy kicks, whew, my man, ugh.
Yeah, English
Wait
is
until you
my
try to
native
learn
language.
Korean, where they have like 2 different number systems. Like that'll really do you in. But yes, indeed, the player ranked number B in the top 10 is Famas2. So he's pretty good.
Yeah, Famas2 pretty good, but Raynor shown himself to be pretty good at this matchup as well. He did a great job on Neo Ground Zero in Game 1 against Gyro. And I think if there's one person on Bull who maybe has a chance of taking a game off of Famas2, it's going to be Raynor. Now they're going to have to, or Raynor is going to have to do this on Icarus. So the ace match today on a space platform, 2010 Shinhan Brank Pro League, was known at the time, at least on Team Liquid, as one of the most boring maps in Brood War. Very standard at the time. Kind of crazy to think that no one would look at this and say, oh, this is really standard anymore, but easy to take third gas. Spawns in 12, 3, 6, and 9. And should be a very cool map to see TBT on, as this is a very drop-friendly map.
Yeah, very drop friendly. I want to say that's also like one of the more standard maps. You look at it, you kind of get it just from looking at it. There's no like weird, wacky, map mechanics like assimilators or cloaked lurker eggs.
Yeah.
Although I will say that you can kind of get caught up if you try to move through the middle, because there are a few blockers and there's a little bit of unpassable terrain with those gaps in the space platform. So there are some things to keep an eye on. So let's just go ahead and get into the game and try to figure this out.
Yep, so it's Famas2 versus Raynor, White versus Bull. It's the ace match. And starting us off in this ace match in the 3 o'clock position, we do have the White Terran fighting for Bull. It's Raynor.
And his South Korean opponent on White Clan in the green is Famas2.
Yeah, now Famas2, a very strong player. As we did see from the rankings before, the only player ahead of him, as someone pointed out in chat, is actually Yeti for Net Wars at 14 for 2. So Famas2 are going to be a very strong opponent, and certainly a very good choice to send out in the ace match here against Bull.
I don't know how the stars have aligned for Yeti. It's entirely possible he's just that badass. He's been killing it for Net Wars, who made it to the finals last season. The biggest baddest, best performer out of any player in STPL. And then it includes guys like Famas2, who's in number 2. I mean, wow. Never thought I'd really see the day, but Yeti's been killing it. Can't wait to watch him in Net Wars coming up next.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting to see how these 2 builds diverge. Obviously, we saw Raynor go for that factory expand in the last game, as well as Gyro doing that as well. Now, Famas, a little bit more likely to go for a quick CC, possibly get any form of advantage he can. It looks like he will be going for a barracks to start with. but his barracks is going to be slightly behind Raynor's.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit slow. I'm kind of glad that we return from whence we came. The Ouroboros biting its tail, as it were. Another TBT in the end. We kind of get to compare because, you know, Raynor was a little bit slower on a lot of his buildings and the timings, specifically of his natural expansion in game number 1, and he still wind up coming out on top.
Yeah, now it looks like both of them are going to be scouting. They're both doing mirror builds once again, so Factory Expand proving to be very popular today. We've seen 3 different Terran players all doing it. I know I did it on ladder a little bit earlier as well, so... Raynor, I'm wondering though, just how much of the STPL he's followed. Does he know just how strong Famas2 is? Famas2 has only played, I believe, a single TBT, which he did win. That was actually against Scan, back on Return of the King in round 2. So as for a guy that can take down Scan, I mean, Famas2, Raynor especially, is going to have a very high hill to climb, especially after scouting last as well.
Yeah, I mean, anybody taking down Famas2 is just you're gonna have to, you know, put on their cleats, get their little sticky walking poles, and go for a hike up a very difficult mountain to climb. So let's see what this is going to look like. Kicks, you know, I'm not going to make too aggressive a call, but it's exactly the same way that we saw game number 1 start out.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to have the SCVs getting in for both players. This is going to be very important for Raynor. He's going to scout that there isn't 3 guys in gas, so he shouldn't be too worried about an early starport. He is going to see that the factory is coming up as well, which is ever so slightly, I believe, that actually the factories are nearly dead on. There's like a millisecond in between them, so kind of crazy. But this command center is coming up for both players as well.
Yeah, so realistically, this is about as close as it gets, right? Even their barracks are going to do a little barracks handshake out in the middle of the map, so... I guess the one difference is exactly the same as it was in game number 1 as well. Raynor saves his SCV.
Now, one of the weird things that this is probably... No one has ever asked this question, but it's something I just noticed. What decides which barracks flies over the other one? Because Raynor's barracks appeared on top of Famas2's one. So I wonder what random bit of code actually decides, hey, if something's floating over it, it goes over it, but... That's more like a shower thought. I should post that up on r/shower thought. That's a pretty good subreddit.
Where do you come up with these things, Kicks? I like to think that you just sit around in your apartment eating Jaffe cakes and stroking your cat thinking about these things.
I mean, it's something that all Terran players have probably never thought about, but well, until now. Now everyone's going to be thinking. But this is really good micro from Famas2, keeping his SCVs and Marine alive at the front for as long as possible. But Famas2's command center has been delayed quite a lot. We do see tank first coming out from Famas2 against 3 factory Vulture with no add-on. So this could be quite dangerous now for Raynor. Now Raynor looks like he's going to land his barracks for some reason, not really blocking anything off. But I think he wants to try and keep the tank there for as long as possible while he gets his expansion up.
Just trying to keep an eye on things here. Sorry, is a bit sidetracked. I'm trying to both converse in English and Korean and trying to read that to make sure that I'm engaging all parts of our audience. And in doing that, it makes it a little bit harder to figure out what's going on. Finally lifting the barracks, making that siege tank's life a little bit more annoying. But this is a difference between games number 1 and 2. So I'm happy that we finally get a chance to see that diverge. This is maybe the build less traveled. 3 facts coming up in Raynor's base. On the other side, we are still just working off 2 for Famas2.
You know, one crazy thing, we actually see Raynor with an advantage. They're both even on supply, but as you would have seen, this command center delayed a lot by Famas2, but here from Famas2 even. But here we go, 2 tanks have made their way into the natural. There's no units other than SCVs to defend against this. Oh, there's a tank on the high ground. Can he block the tanks in from Famas2? It looks like he's going to push them back into the Vultures for now. But he's going to need to get siege as soon as humanly possible to try and deal with this. It's going to be 2 Vultures and 2 tanks against 1 tank and 1 Vulture. And this could be the moment that Famas2 really tries to swing the game back into his favor. Oh, that mine is a bit dangerous.
Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous. If he sacks a tank, he could literally kill every Terran unit from Famas2. Of course, obviously, that is probably not recommended. Don't try this at home. Either way, yeah, Famas2 is in a 6th spot right now. He does have to worry about tanks getting sieged on the high ground because he has, only that barracks there for vision, and the mischance is still going to be there, obviously. So probably a good time to back off. You can push forward and clear mines with 2 tanks, but I mean, obviously, if you mess up one time, everything explodes.
Yeah, now one problem we do have for Raynor is we did see Siege Mode just finish for Famas2. He's got the SCVs here repairing as well, and he has the Goliath to push out, and he... Oh, the mine! Oh, that was close.
Oh my god. This is so demonic!
Oh!
Oh my god!
Oh, this
Okay, well now this Goliath is going to kill every tank, so there we go. Oh, he pokes in with 1 Goliath and kills a siege tank. Damn. Yeah, so that's critical damage being done. No possible way for Raynor to push out at all, and he's going to have to desperately hope that Raynor doesn't want to push forward right now because he would lose both of those tanks in 1 shot.
Yeah, he's going to have to rely on a starport. He's going to have to get a dropship soon. I mean, he can try and maybe edge out with tanks, but we see Famas with the vision advantage, so regardless of anything that happens back at home... Oh, and the barracks of Raynor is going to go down to a single Goliath as well.
Running the vultures forward, trying to break out, but look at this contain. One of the scariest things about Famas2 is how much it feels like he has inevitability on his side. He just puts you in these like chokeholds, which I guess Terran are probably pretty good at doing. What are you supposed to do against this siege tank contain? I mean, realistically, sure, you're both on 2 bases, but 3rd base is coming up right now for Famas2, and it's going to be a while before Raynor can take a 3rd of his own.
Yeah, now Raynor is going to try and risk it. He's building the top right. We do actually see Raynor with a scan going down on top of the tanks just to see how badly he's contained. Siege mode has just finished up, but he's kind of unwilling to siege. He's going to be trying to push out with vultures and tanks, but Famas2 has scouted this. So this is going to be a do or die breakout. I mean, he's not gone into a starport yet. There's going to be no dropships. So this is going to be so dangerous. Oh, and there's actually a Wraith from Famas2 as well. It's kind of like a repeat of Game 1, where we saw Gyro with a really impeccable contain, and then a single Wraith kills all the tanks. But, I mean, Raynor has the composition to break out of here. He doesn't have the position, but can he make it work? It's going to come down to this.
And I love what Famas2 is doing behind this as well. Wait, is he going to sack all of his SCVs?
Yeah, he has to. He has to break out. This is it. And this is... He's going to break out. This is it. He's broken out. He's broken the contain. Once again, Raynor showing an impeccable job.
But he lost 16 SCVs kicks.
Oh. Nice.
Has he really even broken this contain? There's still 2 tanks, a Goliath, and this invincible Wraith.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Damn, GG, man. Holy. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe Raynor busts out, but he sacrifices everything. You are pro gamer is right. Raynor, you know, he wins game number 1 for his team, but in the end, Famas2 bringing out the big guns. I can imagine maybe White Clan only sends 4 players, and then they get to game number 5, they're like, oh my god, we might lose this. So they have this one red phone, and they pick it up, and it's a direct line to like a decoder ring on Famas2's like arm, and he's like, yes, because he talks into the ring, and he's like, I feel like I am needed. My people need me. So he logs on, bops down Raynor, wins the match for White Clan, and everything is saved. But that was very close.
It was, and as we've found out in previous rounds, for many people who are watching, if they've just tuned in for round 3, every single game win and loss can count. Group B in round 2 nearly came down to a single game, so insane usage of those wins there. But just to quickly go over what happened in that series, Raynor taking out Gyro in the first game, Icarus taking down Dio in the second, Fly Mio in an upset, taking down first in game 3, and then Ghost winning game 4 against the craziest Crazy Zerg there's ever going to be, and Famas2 really wrapping that up in the TBT there in the ace match.
Yeah, really sick finish there. I'm glad that Famas2 was able to come out and bring justice to the universe, balance to the force, and then take things down. So in the end, the result is the same as you might expect with White Clan winning, but definitely not the way that you would expected. Really good series to start off round 3.
Yep, and I mean, there's another series coming up after this. I'm not sure if you have time for it. Of course you are, very late in Korea. But I'll be here still doing the second series just after this break, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. See you guys very soon for BWL versus Now Wars.